If you know exactly what you're supposed to do, but still find yourself clicking buy anyways, only to regret it 30 seconds later, this is the video for you. I spent years stuck in this cycle of blowing accounts, sabotaging my progress, and feeling like trading was almost impossible. I spent the past year pretty much obsessed with the one thing that separates pros from gamblers: discipline. In this video, I'm going to go through everything I learned in that year and give you my 15 specific steps. Okay, I'm going to quickly go through the full list right now, and then I'll break each one down so that you can start fixing your discipline immediately. All right, number one is to slow down, size down, learn to take a small red day, accountability, be open, be consistent, set better goals, take no trade days. P&L is the devil. Know your tilt triggers, have clearly defined trading rules. Find another way to make money, find another passion, have a strict prop firm budget, and know when to quit for the day. If any of these ideas that I'm about to cover piss you off, I want to know about it. Let me know which one you hated the idea of the most in the comments. Slow down. Every time I was undisciplined, I was rushing to make money back, rushing to pass the eval, rushing to get a payout, rushing because overall I just felt like I was behind where I should have been in my trading. Discipline started to improve for me when I stopped trying to fix every little mistake immediately, when I actually slowed down and took the time to focus on the process and on following my rules every day and not on passing or payouts. A big part of slowing down is sizing down. Don't worry about trading multiple prop firm accounts when you aren't consistent yet and you don't have all of your systems and your discipline and your rules in place. Discipline can't survive oversized positions. So I'm going to go through my recommendations, some specific recommendations for sizing. We're talking prop firms here, and I'm using MNQ as the example. First of all, when we're talking account size and sizing, I'm talking about your drawdown. So I have a $50,000 eval account that I'm trading with Humble Futures. It comes with a $2,500 drawdown. So I don't have a $50,000 account. If I pass and get a funded account, I'm not going to have a $50,000 account. I'm going to have a $2,500 account. So my drawdown needs to be based on that amount. Forget the 50,000, forget whatever that account number is. That's obviously something that prop firms just do to mess with our heads, to make it so that we don't size properly. And I think it's also to get our egos involved more because, if you're foolish enough to talk about your trading with other people who don't trade, I think our ego would like it a lot more to say, like, I have a $50,000 funded account than I have a $2,500 funded account. All right, so let's get into the sizing. All right, so if you want to be very conservative with your sizing, I would say 1 micro per $1,000 of drawdown. You can do a conversion for ES or anything you're trading. Aggressive on a funded account, I would say the max would be 1 micro per $500 to $750 of drawdown. I know this probably seems really crazy to a lot of you, and this is probably the part that's going to piss people off or that they're going to think she's crazy. But bear with me on this. Um, right now, my max daily risk is about 4 to 6% of my drawdown. If I went with 1% of my $50,000 account size, that's $500. That's insane. That's actually, like, on most $50,000 prop firm accounts, that's 20 to 25% of your drawdown. So that's way too much for max daily loss limit. Um, I would say never more than 10% of your drawdown for your daily loss limit. If you want to be able to stay in it long term and trade in a slower, calmer, less stressed way. If one trade emotionally wrecks you, size is the problem. You need to lower your position size. Your strategy is not the issue here, it's the position size. One of the first things that I do when I get into a trade now, especially if I put the trade on, it starts going against me and I start feeling a little bit stressed out or like, oh, I picked a bad trade or whatever. I look at my risk, and usually it's between $80 to $100. So I'll write in my journal, risk $80. And then I ask myself, sometimes I even write it down, do I really care about losing this $80? No, I don't. And then I ask myself, is losing this $80 trade going to kill the account? Again, the answer is no. So you need to find a position size that is going to allow you to have a string of red days. So I would say at least 7 consecutive red days or red trades or red like max daily loss limits. Um, and then you also need to have a position size where you're comfortable with, where you can write that down in your journal or wherever, or you can think it and you can honestly answer, no, I don't care about losing this amount of money on this trade. And no, it's not going to do any kind of real damage to my account or my progress. We need to learn to take a small red day. This is one of the hardest skills to build in trading. I hate losing. A red day to me just it feels like failure, it feels like taking a step back, it feels like moving farther from the goals, and walking away on a red day feels like I'm just giving up when I don't have to. If I've not traded right to the close, then I'm giving up before I need to. But you've got to be able to stop the bleeding early. Someone commented on my last video that red days are inevitable, making them worse is not. I loved that because for such a long time, it felt like in my trading, I only had two options, small or reasonable green day or a massive red one. My next video is going to go much deeper into this topic because I do think it is such an important one and one that so many of us struggle with. So, next video is going to be all about being able to take these little red days. I will say right now that I think one of the most important things that we can do is to really accept the idea that we need practice taking these small red days. We need to view it as practice and as a important, if not the most important skill in our trading that we need to master before we can move forward with any of it. We need to find a way to build some kind of accountability into our trading. My discipline didn't really improve until someone else or multiple other people could see my decisions. So, whether it's one person or a group, trading in isolation is going to feed into that self deception that I think we can easily fall into with our trading. Um, so find some kind of accountability to add into your daily trading routine. You can use AI, which is what I did for the first half of the year. It worked out pretty well and it gave me great suggestions on rules to change and things to do. But I think ultimately the problem with the AI is it tells us what we want to hear. It's right, like the AI is always going to default to like ass kissing mode. So that's the issue with AI. Some workaround I heard somebody talk about for this is to go to AI and don't say that it's you. Say, my friend was trading, or this guy I know was trading and he did this. And then you'll get a more honest answer from AI. So just watch out for that. You could have like an accountability buddy, another trader that you check in with. You could, this is a little iffy, but you could have your spouse or partner ask you how you did on following your rules and just asking you about following your rules and not your P&L or how much money you made. The other thing you could do is like a Discord, like I have the Degen Rehab Discord group, but there's a bunch of us. We do daily check-ins. We talk about our discipline. When somebody goes on tilt, they come in there, they talk about it. We help them through it, but there's also accountability. There's questions asked. This is where I found AI failed me. It wouldn't press me. It wouldn't ask the tough questions. If I gave some kind of little excuse, AI was quick to latch onto that excuse for me and be like, oh no, you're not the problem. When really it's like, I was the problem. And when I started the YouTube channel, then I had people really, like I just could not get away with the answers that I would give to the AI because a person would be like, yesterday you broke this rule and you said you weren't going to do it again and you did it again today. What happened? Why did you do that? So I think that's actually really important. And then, of course, obviously the support and all that is really good for us too. You need to be open. You need to be open to feedback, open to being wrong, open to changing rules that clearly aren't working for you and are not going to work for you. Ego keeps traders stuck far longer than a bad strategy will. So be open to change. Be consistent. This one probably needs its own entire video as well because consistency is just it's crucial in our trading. I don't think I can overemphasize consistency enough, and it seriously lacked in my trading all the years and all the time that I was going through that terrible cycle that we all want to break free of. Discipline is not just entries. It's the same prep, the same rules, the same post-trade routine. I know people in the, guys in the Discord who have been trading longer, say like they don't have to, but they get up and like they put on dress clothes, they make their coffee, they have the exact same routine, they sit down to the computer, like they show it the respect of like doing these same things the same way every day. For me, it's, marking up my chart before the New York Open, sit down at my desk, have my journal out, write a few things in my journal, wait for my trade, take my trade. When the trade's on, I'm journaling about what I'm thinking and feeling while the trade is playing out. After the trade's done, I get a screenshot, I upload that elsewhere, I close the platform, I shut the computer down. That's the only computer I can trade from. Then I go into the other room on a different computer. I mark up that chart with my trades and everything. I then post that in Discord. So I'm having accountability, sharing that with other people. And then I do my check-in in the Discord saying whether I followed or failed my rules for the day. It's the same thing every single day. We really need to, I'll do a separate video on this because I don't want this one to be crazy long. But if you think you're putting too much thought into your consistency and your routine and your process, you're not. Put more thought into it, write it all out, and then just tell yourself, like, this is what I do every day. I do these exact same things the exact same way every day. My trading goals used to all revolve around money and speed. Pass the account by this day, get a payout by this day, add 19 more accounts by this date. Now they're centered around patience, discipline, and emotional control. I've already made a full video on setting better goals, and I have a free template that comes along with it so that you can set better goals for yourself. Link is in the description for that. I highly recommend making different types of goals for your trading. Not money goals, and yeah, just not money goals. That's basically it. Make discipline goals, process goals, patience goals. It's all in that video. So check that video out. It's linked below. Take more no trade days. If you're sick, didn't sleep well, you're having personal issues, take a day off. Discipline includes knowing when not to trade. I would suggest really figuring out how to score this for yourself in some way so that you can do a quick check before each session. And if you fail that check, you're not even opening the platform. A no trade day is always going to be better than one of those I knew I shouldn't trade, but did it anyways kind of days. I ran an AI analysis of all of our failed check-ins from the Degen Rehab Discord, and 18% of the failed check-ins mentioned health-related issues or sleep. So know when to sit out. Avoid those big losing days and those days where your discipline slips because other stuff is going on. Watching the P&L warped every decision I made. Hide it. Check it weekly or less. This is also why I prefer prop firms that do no monthly rebill, because you really can just stop watching the P&L and forget about any kind of like deadlines and targets and just trade your process. If your risk is managed and you're following your trading plan, then there's really no need to be checking your P&L more than once a week. Know your tilt triggers. What happened right before it? Is it fatigue, frustration, missing a move, getting out of a winner too early and then watching it race to the target without you? Was it getting ticked out on your stop and then watching it race to the target without you? Whatever it is, you really need to keep track of these things that really piss you off and are the ones that lead to you going on tilt. Track it, log it somewhere. You could use a spreadsheet, use AI, whatever it is. You want to keep this data and you want to be able to analyze it and then make rules to stop this from happening. I have a free stop tilt and tilt recovery kit that's linked in the description. So if tilt's an issue for you, grab that. It'll help you work through some of that. Rules should protect you from your own patterns. So, for example, if bailing on a trade early leads to revenge trades, that's a stop for the day rule for you. For me, if I'm frustrated and angry, that's a stop for the day rule. It doesn't matter if I've taken my one trade or not. If I'm already pissed off and then I take a trade and it loses, I'm pretty much guaranteed that I'm going to break another rule after that. And if that trade loses, that's guaranteed tilt and a blown account. So that's why I cut it off at the point of when I'm sitting there and I realize that I'm frustrated and I'm angry because I know where that leads. So it's just stopping that pattern. Financial pressure destroys your discipline. Trading improves when you don't need the money right now. Part time work, freelancing, delivery. Before I started trading, I was buying old furniture on Facebook Marketplace, refinishing it, and selling it back on Facebook Marketplace to turn a profit. I wish I had kept doing that when I started trading instead of putting all of the financial pressure onto the trading. I would have been so much better off. It's not a weakness to look for other areas to make money. It's leverage, and it's going to help you stay in the game longer and with less overall stress, which is really important. I think we kind of ignore how trading affects our overall quality of life and mental emotional state. I did notice that after I got monetized on YouTube and I was getting those little ad revenue payments every month, that I started to relax and it became a lot easier for me to actually slow down and do the things that I've been talking about in this video because I was able to focus on the process, not just the immediate results of each and every trade. When trading was my only focus, losses hit so much harder. Creative work really saved me. First, it was my home rental blog that I was working on, then it was YouTube, and now it's still YouTube. It's just trying to learn new tools to make better YouTube videos. You need something to move toward, not just away from trading when you're done trading for the day. I was so excited the other week. Somebody in the Discord, we were talking one night and he said that he started writing a sci-fi novel. I love sci-fi, so I thought that was exciting, but I also was like, yes, that's a fantastic idea because it's going to be good for him overall, and it's also then going to be good for his trading. So I was very excited about that, and he sent me a little blurb of it. I thought it was great, and I am excited for him to finish the book. We've been over this many times. I feel like a broken record, but you need a strict budget for prop firms. Unlimited retries equal unlimited bad behavior. Discipline needs constraints. I could have saved myself a lot of money, a lot of financial stress, and a lot of just feeling like a piece of shit pretty much every other Friday if I had just had a strict prop firm budget. And when I blew the budget because I was really bad at trading and had no risk management, so I would have blown the budget pretty early every month, then I should have switched over to sim, or I should have used that time to focus on back testing, studying, working on my rules and my trade plan, the things that would have actually made a real difference. The most disciplined decision I make some days is just walking away. You don't fix discipline by pushing harder when you're already compromised. You need to know ahead of time what your daily cutoffs are. So, not just your max trades per day, your max consecutive losses, or your max daily loss limit, but you also need to know your mental, emotional cutoffs. Discipline for me did not just arrive all at once. It was built slowly, painfully, and very messily. All these different steps, they didn't come together in the order that they came together in the video. It was just slowly all of these different things kind of falling into place for me. Um, yeah, I want everyone to be a more disciplined trader because I feel so much calmer, so much less stress for it. I'm not losing money trading anymore, which is a big thing. I know a lot of us, like, it definitely comes up where it's like our self-worth is so tied into our trading. And when we have a tilt day, then it's just like, oh, I'm just a total piece of shit. I'm a failure. I can't do anything right. And it spirals from there. So I do want people to become disciplined traders so that you can have a less stressful journey and you can get to your goals in an easier way. It's going to feel slow. It's going to feel like it's taking far too long, but I really think that you'll get there faster by slowing down and by doing all of these maybe kind of tedious things that I think we have to do. Okay, another thing that I should maybe mention is I've noticed I didn't really plan on doing affirmations, but I've really noticed that I'm constantly like thinking in my head to myself, like that I follow my rules no matter what. And I realize like that's become a mantra or an affirmation for me. Just I follow my rules no matter what. So if I'm sitting at the charts and the thought of taking a trade that I'm not supposed to trade comes into my head, immediately I think I follow my rules no matter what and shut it down. So affirmations can probably help a lot as well. Just 15 steps already seemed like a lot. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you're still struggling with your discipline, let me know in the comments. Let me know which one of these you find the hardest. I think it's accepting a loser, slowing down, and sizing down. That's my guess. Those are the three that I think are the hardest for people. They were the hardest for me. Okay, this video is too long. If you want more accountability, you know where to find me. There's the website. You can do a quiz to see if Degen Rehab Discord is a good fit for you or not. All right, I will see you next week, and we will talk about becoming better losers.